239 people board a plane. It climbs into the sky and vanishes. No distress signal, no radar trace, just silence. A decade later, the ocean still holds its secret, what really happened to flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, an international flight, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, vanished without a trace. There were 239 people on board, 12 crew members, and 227 passengers. The plane took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. It was supposed to arrive in Beijing at 6:30 a.m. after a 5,970-mile, 6-hour flight. But something went terribly wrong. The last voice contact came from the cockpit 1 hour and 19 minutes into the flight. An air traffic controller in Ho Chi Minh City said, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Shortly after, the plane disappeared from the radar. This is what we know for a fact. Everything else is speculation. Did the pilots turn off the transponder? Did someone in the cockpit manually disable the transponder? Why did the aircraft turn so sharply off course? What really happened to MH370? The aircraft continued flying west, far away from its intended path over the Indian Ocean. It flew for another 4 hours. Who was in control of the plane? Was it a pilot? Was it someone in the cabin? What we do know is that the transponder was turned off shortly after the plane lost altitude from 35,000 feet to 10,000 feet. The transponder and secondary surveillance radar system is used to provide aircraft information to air traffic control. In this case, the transponder was turned off by someone in the cockpit. That much is clear. But why? The plane continued on a pre-programmed flight path for about 4 hours until it ran out of fuel. It was the longest flight of its type in history. At some point, the military radar in the Maldives and the Indian military radar picked it up flying towards the Laccadive Sea. The search area was narrowed down to a remote area of the Indian Ocean, southwest of Perth, Australia. Over the next 2 years, a massive international search was conducted involving over 26 countries. Nothing. Then in March 2015, 3 pieces of debris from MH370 washed ashore on the island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean. One of the investigators said the deliberate disabling of the transponder suggested pilot involvement. The plane was supposed to fly over the Gulf of Thailand and then turn left to avoid Vietnamese airspace. Instead, it turned right and continued over the Andaman Sea. If the pilots had become disoriented, they would have flown over Indonesia, not the Indian Ocean. This strongly suggests pilot involvement, but there's no proof. Theories abound. Was it a hijacking? No group ever claimed responsibility for the hijacking. Was there a mechanical failure or a fire? Perhaps. Did one of the pilots intentionally crash the plane? Maybe. Was it a deliberate act, or was it accidental? We don't know. In 2018, a group of independent experts said that someone in the cockpit turned off the autopilot, causing the plane to go off course. This person may have been the pilot. They also said that the plane was deliberately flown into the southern Indian Ocean. The question is, who did it, and why? Even today, the families of the victims are asking the same questions. Even today, the authorities are pursuing every lead. Even today, this is one of the greatest aviation mysteries of the modern era. It's me. This is our channel. Join us for more.